pronoun.
That makes sense. You have to be talking about a person.
Let's take an example sentence. All right, so I throw a frisbee. I throw a frisbee. There's a subject, a verb, and an object in the sentence. Anthony.
Frisbee is an object.
Frisbee is ein Objekt. Sehr gut. Also ich gebe Aaron ein Klassen-Euro und ich gebe Anthony ein Klassen-Euro auf mein Handy. So good. So you said Frisbee is the object. Good. Aaron.
I is the subject.
Very good. I is the subject. So that brings me back to the question, what is the subject's job? What does the subject do in a sentence?
Oh.
Justin.
They tell you who is doing the action.
Very good. The subject of the sentence does the action in the sentence. So we can expand that definition further to say the subject is the noun in the sentence or a person, place, or thing in a sentence that does the action. All right? So that's why we have to distinguish between the subject and the object. Because we know this is a noun, or in this case a pronoun. All right? Is Frisbee a noun? Sure, Frisbee's a noun, but is Frisbee the subject of the sentence? Not at all. No, it's not the subject of the sentence because the Frisbee's not doing the action in the sentence. So we can't just say that the subject of the sentence is a noun because the noun can also be an object, or in this case, a direct object. So what is the job of the object? What is the object or direct object doing in the sentence? Aaron. Say again?
Throwing.
It's being thrown, right? So if it's being thrown, what is like more of a textbook definition we could say that the object is doing in the sentence? Is being thrown by whom? Justin.
Subject.
By the subject. So what is it doing in terms of the action? Use the word action in a sentence to give me a definition. Think about that. And I'll tell you in just a second. Ich gebe Justin und Aaron ein Klassen-Euro. So the object in this, go ahead, Justin.
The subject has to place force onto the object, so it's the receiver of the action.
Thank you. Very good. That's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. Did I spell that right? The object, in this case, the direct object, receives the action. All right, so direct object receives the action in the sentence. I'm throwing the frisbee, right? The frisbee's receiving the action. The action is being done physically to the frisbee. Now, there are going to be sentences where the direct object receives the action. In these PenPal letters, it's not going to be a physical action. So I'm going to ask you to extend your imagination so that you can still distinguish between objects and subjects. All right, so it's not always going to be a physical action like I pick up the phone. All right, so good. So I throw a frisbee. What's the verb? Justin.
Verb?
Yes, throw. So we need to know this, and we need to know first, second, and third person. First, second, third person. Who can tell me what pronoun we would use in first person or a definition of first person or both?
If I'm saying if it's first person, in first person, isn't it like
we, I'm going to put down here because I'm worried about singular, right?
Okay.
But that's perfect. That's exactly what it is. I and we. All right, now let's expand. Justin?
Me, my.
Me and my, but we want to stick with the subject. All right, so me and my would be the objective case, and I'm worried about the subject of the sentence. So we'll leave that for now. How do we say I in German?
Ich.
Go ahead, Marianne. A little louder.
What?
I heard you, but well, can you say it louder?
Yeah.
Ich. Sehr gut. Okay. Alright, so Travis und Mariano kriegt einen Klassen-Euro. Ich. Alright, so in the first person, I'm telling the story, I'm doing the actions. What about the second person? Or third person if you know that and not the second. Aaron.
You.
You, very good. Justin, can you answer that? Or no, sorry, Jordan, can you answer that? Just tell Miss what you're teaching and if they need me right now. So you, that's correct. What are some examples of when we would be talking in the second person?
Yeah.
Like, why would we ever use the second person? Aaron.
When you're asking a question.
When you're asking a question, right? We always say you when you're asking a question.
Porter.
And then on
Go
the
to main office.
Who?
Porter.
Thank you. And on the flip side, when you're asking a question, but also when you're
Wait, do I bring myself?
you can take your stuff. I have no idea how long you're gonna be there.
I don't know where that is.
Oh, it's upstairs where you enter on the left side. No. Just go to the second floor and then it's at the 8th grade entrance. So commands and directions. So how do you get to Dunkin' Donuts? Well, first you go down 3 streets and then you make a left and then you go to the second stop sign and you go down 3 more streets and you'll see Dunkin' Donuts on the left. So second person, when you're giving directions or commands. How do we say you in German? Aaron. Du. Sehr gut. Du. Which brings us to third person, Anthony. What is third person? They. Yes. What about singular?
Us.
Nein. If I said David und Aaron, that would be they. But what if I just want to talk about one of them? Sie.
You? Oh no, it's the second person.
Sie.
Z?
Sie. And.
Oh yeah, S-I-E-O.
S.
Capital S.
And.
E-R.
Yes, very good. There's the S is he, she, it. He, she, it. So third person, second person, first person. Very good. So now, last thing before we start with the PenPal letters, Verben, verbs. Let's use the verb spielen. Spielen. Jordan, what does spielen mean?
Like.
Nein, ich spiele Disc Golf. Ich spiele Basketball.
Play.
Play, very good. So, we know, or we should know, that when we use verbs in a sentence, depending on what person we're speaking in, the ending changes. So, does anyone remember what the ending would be in first person, Justin? E, very good. So, ich spiele. Ich spiele. What about second person? Aaron.
ST.
ST. Was spielst du gern? Was spielst du gern? Woher kommst du? Wie heißt du? Justin.
EN.
Nein, that's down here.
T.
T, yes. So, Anthony spielt Basketball. Fabian spielt Fußball. Aaron spielt Badminton. David spielt Fußball. Mariano spielt Computerspiele. Travis spielt Videospiele. So when we're speaking in the third person, we use TN. Very good.
You're the best at ghosting. And
Alright,
being the best at
shh, don't get into that, please. Anthony, face forward, please.
things.
So, who can please, for me, read the, from here, I don't want to do this one. We're going to do, let's do this one. Can someone read the first line? Actually, sorry.
That's the same one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't.
Alright, so we're going to do a combination. Can someone read the first 3 lines? Anthony.
First 3?
Yeah.
From PenPals.
Nein, auf Deutsch. In German.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Wie PenPal?
Liebe PenPal.
Hallo, wie heißt du? Ich heiße Obama.
Perfekt, gut. Okay, liebe PenPal. Hallo, wie heißt du? Ich heiße Obama. Justin.
Wie alt bist du? Ich bin 14 Jahre alt.
Wie alt bist du? Ich bin
14.
Oh.
14 Jahre alt. Wie alt bist du? Ich bin 14 Jahre alt. Wer kann noch lesen? Aaron.
Woher kommst du? Nina family kommt aus New York und Puerto Rico.
Wunderbar. Woher kommst du? Meine Familie kommt aus New York und Puerto Rico. Woher kommst du? Meine Familie kommt aus Puerto Rico und New York. Tschüss, Obama. Let's look at.
Step.
Wait, but
Yeah, go ahead, Justin.
so for Hosanna, that's not where Obama's from.
Oh, don't worry about it. We're not worried about it.
Are you talking about where the person's from?
We're not talking about the real Obama.
We're
Oh.
pretending. We're an imagination world. We are totally an imagination world. Don't worry if things are not factual.
Oh,
All right.
I wouldn't be here.
Who can read? Who will please read the greeting and the first line? Anthony.
Guten Tag, ich heiße Emma. Wie heißt du?
Gut, danke schön. Ich heiße Emma. Wie heißt du? Justin.
Wie alt bist du? Ich bin 14 Jahre alt.
Wunderbar. Jordan.
Ich komme aus Bethlehem. Aber meine Familie kommt aus Ireland.
Perfekt. Ich komme aus Bethlehem, aber meine Familie kommt aus Irland. Woher kommst du? Tschüss, Emma. All right, so first line, what are we saying? Ich heiße Emma. Wie heißt du? Justin.
My name is Emma.
No.
My name is Emma.
Sorry.
And then, wie heißt du?
How old are you?
9.
Who are you?
Who are you? What's your name? Very good. So, ich heiße Emma. I am called Emma. Wie heißt du? How are you called? Or what is your name, as we would say in English? Aaron, wie alt bist du?
How old are you?
How old are you? And ich bin 14 Jahre alt.
I'm 14 years old.
Sehr gut. Jordan, ich komme aus Bethlehem. What does that mean?
I come from Bethlehem.
Very good. I come from Bethlehem. Travis, meine Familie kommt aus Irland.
I don't know what that means.
Well, what is familia?
Family.
What do you think Irland is?
Ireland.
Ireland. Very good. And if we just said, ich komme aus Bethlehem, I come from Bethlehem, meine Familie kommt aus Irland. Comes from, exactly. So, meine Familie kommt aus Irland. But we have this word right here. So, has anybody ever heard the term dependent clause? An independent clause?
Yes.
So, we have here two independent clauses, right? Because they can stand alone. Independent means they can stand alone. Ich komme aus Bethlehem. I come from Bethlehem. Meine Familie kommt aus Irland. My family comes from Ireland. What are these words that connect two independent clauses called? There's a song from, I don't remember, Schoolhouse Rock
I remember that.
called
Yeah.
Conjunction Junction. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah.
So junction is where two things meet.
3 years.
So conjunction connects two independent clauses, which is and, or, but, or. So what is aber? Ich komme aus Bethlehem, aber meine Familie kommt aus Irland.
And
Justin. But. Could be and, but in this case it's but. Because they're saying, Emma's saying, I'm from Bethlehem, but my family comes from Ireland, right? Because that is kind of a but situation. Like, if you came from Bethlehem, that's pretty cool. Your parents weren't born here. That means they came over from Bethlehem. And then woher kommst du, of course, is where are you from, right? All right, good job. So let's look at this one since it's not marked up yet. So first we're highlighting subject verb.
we did this one already.
Yes, we've done this, and we're gonna keep doing it, because when we dive